Now under arrest, Mikas is taken downstairs for processing, where the line of questioning is somewhat softer.
You're not ill in any way?
You've got the flu or anything? You smell it?
White
Might be your fag too much, mate. You smoke too much, mate.
When we take a person into custody, we accept responsibility for their welfare, and those questions are intended to establish if there are any existing conditions or problems that may manifest themselves in self-harm or harm to other people whilst they're in our custody.
Are you feeling in yourself withdrawn, irrational, depressed, overly ashamed, agitated or anxious about what you're here for in the police station today? You don't understand what they mean? No. Okay. Depressed, do you know what depressed means? When you're feeling sad? Very depressed means very, very sad.
Where's he going? He's going there, definitely.
15 years after kneeling beside the violated body of Teresa Cormack on a deserted beach, Brian Shabb locked up the man who had taken her life.
Yeah. Pick a sweet, mate.
In here, mate.
We want to get a psychiatric report under criminal justice act, so they can do that while he's in custody.
Right.
That's all you want, eh?
Yeah, that's all I need.
We can't keep this guy in custody, there's something wrong.
Right. That's right, yes.
With their daughter's killer finally in custody, Kelly and Ross were about to endure the horror of seeing him in the flesh.
Even if the answers are hard to hear, I want to know what happened that day. I really do.
With Jules Mikas identified by his DNA as the murderer of Teresa Cormack, police started to prepare for his trial. Items of Teresa's clothing had been missing when her body was recovered at Whiraniki Beach. Police went to the Napier address where 7 and thoroughly searched it.
You know what we're looking for? We're looking for a button and this material, small items like that. So when I dug up, you go down yay deep to ensure that we've got that covered. That's what you do in this sort of a case. You cover every possible aspect, and although we knew probably that there'd be nothing there, we had to do it to confirm that.
Our top story, Teresa Cormack's accused killer goes to court in the city that was her home.
Police were out in force around the courthouse and security was high inside. But that didn't stop people venting their anger against Jules Mikas, accused of the abduction, rape and murder of the 6-year-old 15 years ago.
Kelly and Ross first saw their daughter's killer at the pre-trial hearing in Napier. The impact on them was devastating.
I felt sick.
I felt very angry.
It was definitely a tense, shaky moment.
After seeing him in court, you know, poor Ross was just still shaking, and you could see that he was just fuming. And, you know, an obvious reaction too, because, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, for someone like that to do something to your daughter, you know, it was bad enough, but to have someone who looked like him and his face being the last one that, you know, she ever saw, you know, I think Ross found that very hard to deal with.
He does fit the mental picture. This sort of monster that you draw up in your head. He's suffered a bit over the last 15 years by the look of him.
I hope so.
Yeah. We certainly have.
We've got questions that only he can answer. Even if the answers are hard to hear, I want to know what happened that day. I really do.
With Mikas denying the murder, Kelly and Ross would never get those questions answered. Preparations for a High Court trial meant that Brian Shabb had to now hand over the completion of Operation Cormack to men outside the police.
Being the captain at the moment, I'd like to be able to score the winning try, but I can't do that. I've got to put my trust in the two big wingers we've got coming through, and hopefully they'll do the deed. I'm sure they will.
Obviously you want to make decisions in consultation with someone who's put so much of their life into that investigation, and that's what happened. But yeah, I think we always appreciated that at the end of the day there were certain calls which were going to have to be ours.
Place Jules Pierre Nicholas Marcus before court. Jules Pierre Nicholas Marcus, you are charged on or about the 19th day of June 1987 at Napier. Did murder Teresa Maida Cormack. How do you plead guilty or not guilty?
I don't know how I would have handled a trial 14, 13 years ago, and the state I felt in at the time, and that numb sort of too close to anger state, that numbness that's on the edge of anger. Yeah, I think as it has turned out, I was in a position to be able to handle things better.
Do you swear by Almighty God the evidence you've given shall be truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you very much, Your Majesty. Get yourself going. Thanks. Get the microphone there.
Okay.
There we are.
Yep.
I think your full name is Kelly Jane Piggott.
That's right.
And I think that you'll confirm for us all that you're the mother of Teresa Maida Cormack.
Yes.
Turning back to her birthday, the 18th of June, were there celebrations, presents and the like that day?
Yes, a quiet one with family and one friend.
Okay.
And yeah, definitely had a lovely little tea party and lots of presents.
Now, the next morning, did she express any view about wanting to go to school or not?
She did say she didn't want to go.
And to the best of your memory, what was your response when she said she didn't want to go to school?
That she was going.